All right. I kind of want to just share my thoughts on everything right now because right now is a pretty crazy time for everybody who has any money in the market whatsoever. Uh, it's honestly, if you're looking at crypto right now, Bitcoin, we're in a funky spot because if it doesn't hold 19,700, which was the previous high from 2017, 2018, December, January timeframe, I think we're in big trouble. We're probably going to go down. I mean, considering that literally everybody who bought it in December 20, January 2021 is now a bag holder officially, declaring it stake in the ground right now because of the fact that, they just bought it above market price at this point. So everyone's holding the bag who's bought it at that point. Nonetheless, let's move on to the next thing, which is the S&P 500. Now, we're looking at similar levels right here, December 2017, January 2018, same time Bitcoin hit its all-time highs. I mean, I don't necessarily think the S&P 500 is going to fall below 3,000. I think it's probably going to float around, 3,300. But again, I'm a little bit optimistic on that. Not necessarily because I think our economy is in such a great shape, but I actually trust Jerome Powell at this point because he's taken after Paul Volcker, who is kind of he was in Jerome Powell's seat during 1979 to 1987, during a very similar time to what's going on now. I mean, obviously everything's going to rhyme, but it's not the exact same. So let's kind of look and go back real quick. So this is unemployment rate right here. We'll go all the way to the top. Unemployment, and then we're looking at GDP in the middle, and then inflation year over year on here. We got notable events right here. The Balance, great website for this information if you want to just kind of study it, which I think it's pretty good. But let's take a look. Volcker takes a seat. So in his own words, he said if they kept pussyfooting around and not actually going to raise interest rates, then we're going to see inflation go to 20%. So right now, he takes a seat. Inflation's at 13%. What's going on? Well, he actually starts to hike up interest rates, which is what's happening right now. Mortgage rates just hit a high for the year of 2022. And I personally wouldn't even entertain buying a home right now. In most areas, I mean, there's plenty of areas where you could probably find great value, but I don't necessarily think anything's at a fair value for the cost of financing these days, at least at the current moment. But nonetheless, let's see what happens. So Reagan, tax cuts, that's all great. But what's happening in the meanwhile? Unemployment is going up. But what's also happening is inflation is going down. And then as you can see, GDP does take a little bit of time to bounce back, but it does. And then obviously you're going to have some very, formidable events like Black Monday, which is go down infamy. You're going to see some crazy stuff go on throughout all this period of time. But recently, let's bring it up, wrap it into our world today. We got inflation now at, let's say, 10%. And honestly, I think that is being conservative. Looking at the year over year prices of these goods, like consumer goods themselves, and averaging that out, that's how I came up with a number that's actually in the mid-teens. Just literally looking at the prices of things on a scale that you could actually make an average of it all. So, and as you can see here, unemployment, 4%. I think this number should be at 6% higher, 10%. We need to raise interest rates. I just think that's what needs to be done at this point for us to actually tame inflation and, see crazy levels of unemployment like we did, in 2009. Negative GDP. I just think we just need some time to heal so we can get better and have a good prosperous market like we did for the last decade. So that's all I really have to say.